Hi guys! In this video, we're going to look at how we can switch out the sounds used by our instruments. It's not uncommon to want to change your sounds as the track takes shape. This will also give us the chance to explore a few more plugins in FL Studio. I'm going to start out by replacing the kick drum sample with a drum synth. Right-click on the kick instrument and choose Replace, then select Bass Drum. Remember that you can choose more plugins and search if you can't locate it in the list. I'm going to let the track play and make some changes to the settings as I listen. Personally, I like to concentrate on the click and the main portions, and sometimes add a bit of drive. I'll quickly listen to the beat and tweak the sound. Feel free to experiment and press F1 to open the manual if you want to know what everything does. Remember that you can solo the kick in the mixer to hear it in isolation if you prefer. Let's also replace our hi-hat. Drumpad has some nice sounding hi-hat presets, so I'm just going to go with Dance Hat 01 for now. Drumpad isn't the most beginner-friendly synth to learn, but there are so many presets that you can probably find something you like in there. Next, we're going to add a couple of cymbals. Let's go to the browser, Alt F8 if you've closed it, and browse to our packs again and open up the drums and cymbals. Load 707 Crash from Packs Cymbals by dragging it to the channel rack. Ctrl L to route it to the mixer. Hit F9 and pan this cymbal all the way to the left. Back to the browser and drag the Lin Crash from it to the channel rack. Ctrl L, F9 and pan this one hard right. F4 to add a new pattern. Let's call this one Left Crash, give it a color and add a hit on the left crash at the start of the bar. F4 to add a new pattern. Call it Right Crash, set a color and again add a hit to the start. Hit F5 to switch to the playlist. Let's add these crash cymbals below the drums. Do this by inserting a track in the playlist. Right-click the bass lane and hit I for insert. Do this twice. Add the right crash pattern to the first bar after the intro and again on bar 11. Auto-name the playlist with right-click and then hit A. Add the left crash pattern to where the pattern repeats and rename the track with right-click A. Alternatively, we could just put both of these patterns in the same lane. Let's do that. Right-click the left crash track, choose Rename from the menu and delete the left so the name is just Crash. Hold Ctrl and click on the right crash's track name. This will select everything in the playlist track. Click on a pattern, hold down Ctrl and drag downwards. Holding down Ctrl keeps the pattern's position in the timeline and you can only move it up or down, not side to side. Let's delete the extra track we no longer need. Right-click on the right crash track and hit E to delete. Confirm the prompt with space or enter or click on OK. Hit space to listen to what we did. Okay, those crashes are too loud. Let's turn them down in the mixer. We can still improve our lead by adding more movement to the sound. Let's apply an envelope to the filter cutoff, or Mod X. We want to quickly raise the filter's cutoff when a note is played, and then reduce it again. This will make the start of the sound a bit brighter. Open the channel rack with F6 and click on the lead instrument. Open the settings and switch to the Mod X tab. Enable the envelope. We want a short attack, a short hold, a short decay, and the release is probably fine. I'm going to set sustain to around 25%. Set the amount to about 3 o'clock so the filter cutoff goes up as the envelope is applied. If you turn it down, the filter cutoff will go down instead. These settings will quickly raise the cutoff when a note is played, so the initial hit has more high frequencies in it. Then the filter will close, meaning the cutoff frequency will go down, and we'll get a less bright sound for the body of the instrument. Because our sustain level is at about 25%, the filter cutoff is now higher than before when the note is playing after the initial stages. Let's turn down the overall filter cutoff a little bit to offset that, using the Mod X knob. We could have set the sustain to 0 and not change the cutoff itself, but then the release would do nothing. This way, the cutoff goes down a little bit more as the note fades out. Finally, let's add a reverb to the lead. Open the mixer with F9 and make sure you have the lead channel selected. Click in one of the effect slots on the right and add Effector. Switch to the reverb in Effector. Make sure you click on the bypass switch or the effect will not do anything. The X param knob controls the amount of feedback, similar to with Fruity Delay 2. The Y param knob controls the amount of reverb. I'm going to set these by ear. Something like this should do. Effector has a bunch of different effect types. You can find out what the X and Y knobs affect for each effect in the manual. Just hit F1 to open it. To create a bigger impact at the end of the intro, let's add a little break to the end so we have a big drop in volume just before everything comes in. Double-click on the pad pattern in the playlist to open the piano roll. Select the notes in the last bar by control-clicking and dragging a box around them. Drag the end of one of the notes to the left to shorten them all so they end at the end of the third beat. Let's also edit the filter automation on the pad so that it peaks right when the note ends. And finally, let's edit the cutoff automation on the riser so that it goes down when the pad stops. Don't forget to hit Ctrl-N to save a new version. You might want to make some more tweaks to the sound in your track using everything you've learnt so far. If you want to experiment, don't forget to use Ctrl-N to save separate versions as you go, just in case. Have fun tweaking your track, and I'll see you in the next video where we will finish our arrangement.